So, welcome to the last round of sessions for the first NDC Sydney. And yeah, I'm happy that you are here and that you want to follow my talk because quality starts in your head. If you expect me to talk about quality management or the PDCA cycle or something like that, I think then you should leave, because that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about something much more important, and that's you. Because whatever as a quality management system you want to implement, it just works when you want to work with it. So I think you won't go out and have learned a lot. And that's not what I'm aiming at. What I want you to do is to think afterwards about what I've told you. And perhaps to look at your own work, to look at yourself, and then look, what can I do to improve my quality? So if anyone wants to leave, it's time now. Okay. Yeah. My name is Sabine Wojcieszak, formerly known as Sabine Bennigsen. The name is not that, my new name is not that old that you find something about Sabine Wojcieszak on the internet. This will change after NDC, but when you want to Google me, please use my old name. I'm a consultant, author, and speaker, and I work for Get Next IT. This is a company in the northern part of Germany. I will show you some things about Germany later on. And my topics, the important factor, the human being. Everything I do is around the human being and the people inside a company, the people in a team. Because we all are so important, but often we forgot about this. Yeah, where do I come from? Europe. You know, Germany is in Europe. This is Germany. And I come from the northern part, which is called Schleswig-Holstein. And it's near to the Danish border where I live, here, Kiel. And it's very nice. We have the Kiel Canal, perhaps you have heard of it. It's the connection between the Baltic Sea and the Northern Sea. And it's very nice when you have a walk on the landscape and suddenly you see a big ship going through this canal, although you have been in the forest or something like that. It's really crazy. Sometimes it looks that nice, mostly in May. Blue sky is also available in the northern part of Germany. You can believe it or not, it's up to you. But we have also winter, but not that much as you may think. We have beautiful sunsets. We have the Baltic Sea, that's directly in Kiel. We have all those ferries who go from Kiel to Norway, to Sweden, and to the Baltic countries. And we produce a lot of wind energy in the northern part of Germany, because what we really have is wind. On both sides of the land, there's sea, water, and we always have wind, from the one side, from the other side, from the top, from the bottom. But yesterday, someone told me, only Australia has the beautiful beaches, and Germany does not have beaches with white sand. We have a lot of it in Schleswig-Holstein, and this is on the side of the North Sea. And we have a small village called California, and it's in Germany. It is not the California in the United States. And it's beautiful, really beautiful. We have lighthouses. We have spiders, too. We have snakes, and they bite. But what we don't have are crocodiles. So that's why I'm here. I hope to see a crocodile, but I haven't. Perhaps tomorrow in the zoo. So when you want to contact me, these are the ways you can get in touch. I've said it before. Now, let's start with some examples about quality. And because I don't want to teach you things, because I want to make you think about it, I have chosen a different approach, and I come up with examples you know from the daily life. So don't be scary. We'll come over to your daily work later on. Do you know the Oktoberfest? Yes. Do you have something similar here in Australia? something like an annual fair or something like that. Okay. In Germany, it is very popular to draw lots at a lottery stall, and you can win soft toys. Yeah, you pick up some small piece of papers. There are some signs on, and you have collect different signs to win. So you see, there are different signs, and sometimes you have to have 5 of these picks or 5 different signs or whatever, and then you can win. But there are also pieces of papers where you won't win anything with it, because there's oh, sorry, you haven't won. You hope for the jackpot when you draw lots and open all those pieces of papers. But is this a winner or a loser, even if you have won something? When I prepared for my trip to Sydney, I tried to draw lots. And this was my winner. I really spent a lot of money to win this little guy. Do you have an idea how much money this costs me? 50 or 15? Not that much, but 25. And I think it's very much for such a thing. Because when you ever have opened such a soft toy from a lottery stall, you will find out there's no quality inside. You have plastic pieces inside, old buttons and whatever, but never quality. Are you disappointed then? No. Because you didn't expect quality with this. The quality here for this is what's different. If you want a high-quality soft toy, you would have chosen this one. Do you know Steif? Yeah? Steif are very, very high-quality soft toys. I myself have a Steif soft toy, which is about 45 years old. I thought I get it when I was 2 or 3 or something like that, and it looks nearly as if it is new. Although I had it always in my arms. So that's really quality. But what is the quality for this? Why do people spend money on this? On one hand, it's thrill. On the other hand, it's fun. And it is hope for luck. So the quality is defined in a different way for drawing lots. So quality has a lot of different phases. And when you ask people what is quality, and they don't start to define their understanding of quality, it could be that they won't understand each other. So quality has to be defined. What is your quality? So I think we don't have any attendees under 18 here. Great. Are there some attendees who do not want or like to talk about adult stuff? You like it, okay. So I think then you are the right person to help me. The first one, please. Come over, please. Yeah. And I need a second one. Yeah? Yeah. We want to test something. You know about testing, yeah?
Somewhat.
Somehow. Okay. Please do this.
Right.
Yeah. So, and you please choose one. Choose one. One. Open it. I hope so. And please pull it over. What about please care about the reservoir? No. So, okay. How does it feel? When you feel, how does it feel?
Yeah,
Feels good?
yeah.
Yeah? Feels natural? Smell. Citrus, yes. Thank you very much.
Okay. You can take off
No,
now.
not at all. So what kind of quality do we have? What about the usability? Is it good to use? When you put it over, is it good to use?
Where's this going? That was easy enough, I guess.
Yeah, easy enough.
Yeah.
And when you're a little bit excited, it's easy to use then?
Oh, maybe not so then.
Yeah, it works. It works. Okay. What about the user experience? You said it feels good
Yeah.
because it's very thin. It's wet. You can't see it, but
Definitely,
you feel it. Some of those have knobs on it. Some knobs. No? This one smells, and I guess it tastes. Do you want to try?
No.
No. Okay.
Okay, we trust you.
And yeah, it's orange, cool color. So I don't want you to do. Thank you very much. You can go back to your seat.
Can I take it out?
If you want to. If you want to, it's up to you. I don't want you to do a security test because that could be a bit wet if it not works. I've done it on my own at home. And yeah, it was really tear-proof, it was elastic, it worked fine. I think we never need that much elasticity for using the condom. If quality is bad, in this case, please think, the small pockets are not very expensive. Yeah? Each one is not expensive. This could be one consequence which you have to care for the rest of your life. But there could be other consequences which are so bad I don't want to talk about. So the user who uses the condoms expects quality. If not, it could be really, really worse. I found a quote, programming is like sex. One mistake and you have to support it for the rest of your life. And I think that's a really good quote because it says everything. You have to take care of what you are doing, otherwise you will work on it and work on it and work on it and work on it, and you will worry on it and worry on it and worry on it. So this fits very well. But please, no shitstorm now for using the oops word, but I think you can deal with it. Although people are aware of the consequences in this case, quality features sometimes are not age to use a product. I don't know what it is here in Australia. When you ask in Germany people, no matter which age, and you talk with them about using condoms, they tell me, oh, it's not cool. I know about the consequences, but it's not cool. That's the reason why a lot of producers have built in things like noobs and color and smell and taste just to make it more fun, more interesting, just to sell more. That's the reason. They're not doing that because they want to protect you for the consequences, but they want to sell a lot of this. But quality features sometimes are not enough. Safety is sometimes not enough. And so it's the reason on this case. Let me tell you about a story in my daily work. Besides that I'm a consultant for companies, I work on a social project. We are working with people who are for a long time unemployed and have a lot of problems. And we have a CEO, and some weeks ago, she sent me an email and wrote, "Hey Sabine, our new website is online now. Have a look at it. I'm so proud of it." And she spent a lot of money on the website, 8,000 euro. And this is what I see when I open this website on my iPad or my phone. The characters at the side are not proper. There's a gray line in between. This red button here is within the text. And I saw this website and said, oh my God, what's that? We have had a website before. It was not that modern, but it worked. And she is proud of this one because I have a new website and I have paid a lot for it. And I told her, hey, just have a look. The characters here are missing. Just a few characters on the sides. That doesn't matter. So for her, is quality something different than for me? And all people who are engaged in this whole process of quality have to be ready for it. It starts in our head, and it brings value when it is useful for us. So let's have a look what quality could be. This is a T-shirt of my son, and I think it's very interesting because that's what quality is. It is something like a mask for a lot of different features. Usability could be a feature of quality. UX could be a feature of quality, as well as performance, security, reliability, extensibility, maintainability, modularity, or efficiency, or something more. Could be design or whatever. So quality could be defined in very different ways. And we talk about quality, you have to talk about which quality you want to speak. So question number one is, what kind of quality is important for you? That's the question you have to ask yourself, or you have to ask within your team before you start a project. So I want to present you a new stakeholder in this whole process. And it's called the customer. I want to go away from the name user. Because the customer is, with the wording customer, it's more obvious that it is the customer who pays the bill. The user is one who uses your product. The customer could be the user too. But the customer is the one who pays the bill. And so, second question, what kind of quality is important for your customer? When you are writing software, you have to think about your kind of quality. But on the other hand, you have also think about which quality is important for your customer. And you have to think about it at the beginning, not when you are ready with it. So you have to make up your mind. Don't underrate the customer's expectations. Customers are those who write down on the internet when they are satisfied, but they write also down when they are not satisfied. And you can't wipe it away off the internet. And everyone who will Google for your product or for your company will find bad ratings and good ratings. So the quality process has a lot of stakeholders. We have, on the one hand, the customer here. We have the whole organization, the company you're working for, the team you're working in, and you, the individual. And all these stakeholders are influencing each other. Your team, the atmosphere in your team is influencing the way you are working. Your work is influencing the team. The company is influencing your teamwork and your own person. The customers are influencing the way the company reacts, and so on. So all these parts have to be together. And modern customers are also responsible for quality. William Edwards Deming once said, quality is everyone's responsibility, and he's right with this. Because when I'm a customer and the quality is not what I have expected, it's my task to bring it back, to ask for the company to make it better, to give feedback or whatever, or just to let go, just to won't buy it again. But also the company, the team, and everyone in this team is responsible for quality. And it's not so, okay, I'm just an employee here and quality is the matter of the organization. No, I am the employee here and I am responsible for the quality of my work. quality at every stage. Do you know what your customers really want? Do you know this? How do you work when you don't know what the customers want?
Yes.
Ah, that's bad. Sorry for that. Some of you write specifications with the customers, but specifications are just half of the truth because you can't write down everything. What you really should avoid is to guess, because to guess is just a small view on the topic. Try to communicate. And now it is a question, how can we communicate with the customers? And that's the reason why you have to think about, before you start with a product, what does the customer really want? So you have to think about, how do we get these information? What can we do to get those informations, which are so important for developing a high quality product, or a product with a certain quality? So John F. Kennedy said, too often we enjoy the comfort of opinion without the discomfort of thought. It's so easy just to say, oh, I believe they want this. It's very hard to make up my mind, how can I get the information from the customer? So it's easier just to have an opinion what they think. I think I know what I want. No. Because we have to think of quality, we have to think what is the purpose of quality. On the first hand, quality is an investment, a mid and long-term investment on customer relationship. And customer relationship is important because money, money, money. And to be honest, you all develop products and deliver services because money is in the background. You don't do it because you have only fun. I hope you have fun in your job, but that's not all. And when you're an employee, your company would not be happy if you say, oh, money doesn't matter. Yes, money rules the world. And when we speak about quality, it's a question of money. It's a question of how much money we invest in the product, but it's also a question of how much money we can earn. Even if you are developing a product which is thought for 1 or 2 years, your company is measured on this short-term product. So if you have a short-term product and this has a good quality, it is a reputation for your company. And it will be a sign of quality for next products. People will have an expectation. So quality is an investment in customer relationship. So when you know what your customers want at the beginning of the process, you are able to build quality in right from the beginning, which will be much easier, which will be much cheaper, and which will be much better. You all know when you have finished a product 90%, and then you start to build in quality, security. It's a hard work often because you have to restructure things you have done or whatever. So building quality right from the beginning is much easier. It's if you build a house and you forget about the water you need on the second floor in your bathroom. And afterwards you have to break up all walls and put the tubes in so that you can have water in the second floor. It's your choice. Quality versus price versus time. It's your choice. Which quality do we want? Which price are we aiming at? And how much time do we have? And to find a balance between all those 3 points is very important. When you don't have enough time and just a low budget, it's very hard to believe in a very high quality. So that's what you have to consider before you start. Otherwise, this could happen. Yeah? The first 90% of the code accounts for the first 90% of the development time. 10% are still still missing. The remaining 10% of the code accounts for the other 90% of the development time. Is this familiar to you? And a lot of things, sometimes this happens because you have missed to build in some special features and you have to put them in later on. So you can shorten the development time when you think about all those stuff before. Oh. Another example of my work in the social project. We are showing some bags with the people who are in this project, and we have a tag which we put in all our products. And we are called Steil's Hope. Steil's Hope is a department in Hamburg where a lot of underprivileged people are living, low level of education, low level of income. And we changed this word. Steil's Hope is usually one word as the name, and we changed it in 2 words and had the word hope at the end as the hope we want to give the people who are in this project for the rest of their life. So all the time we are producing something, we put in a tag with our label on. And a customer came to us and asked us to produce 20 of those bags with some special printings on. And a lady came to me and said, Sabine, we have finished those 20 bags. And I looked at the small tag and I saw they were all mirrored. You can't read them, they were all mirrored, 20 bags. And I go over to her and said, hey, Claudia, you have to open all those bags again because the tag is wrong. And she said, Sabine, I've seen that, but I think nobody will see it. Okay. And when you are true to yourself, I think you all have made this experience in your daily work. You have seen something is not really correct, not really good, and you said, okay, doesn't matter, no one will see it. Quality is doing things right when no one is looking. And that's the problem about quality. Quality often is hidden inside something, under the face, and no one will really see it. And you do it when no one is looking. So it is really easy to say, doesn't matter, no one will see it. But it could be expensive at the end when you have this attitude. Don't forget, you, your team, and your organization. You're all in the same boat because you want to reach one goal, success. When your company is successful, they can pay your income. When the company is not successful, it could be that you all lose your job. So you are all sitting in the same boat. And that's a committed goal. And for this, it is important in your company and your team to find a quality commitment. A level of quality you all are committed on and you all want to follow. Because in the end, you have the same goals. From every single person and up to the whole organization. So let's have a look at the quality of daily work. Look here, the lines are very straight, everything is fine, and here someone, I guess, had slept while doing his work. And perhaps when he has done his work, you haven't even seen it because just the seeds and the earth, perhaps you haven't seen it. These guys, later on, will have a problem to pick up all those leaves here. But that is what happened in daily work. Do you know the Sen of Python? It's on python.org by Tim Peters. And I've just picked out a few of his mentionings. it's not only when you work with Python, and it's not only when you work writing a program, because that's what I have mentioned here, what I will mention here is for all our work, not only for programming. Explicit is better than implicit. Bless you. When I communicate with you, it is better to say directly what I want you to tell instead of communicating implicit and you have to find it out what I want to tell you. So when I want to tell you something very important, I have to do it explicit. When I want to reach a certain kind of quality, please make it explicit so that the other one who has to work on it knows what you want. Simple is better than complex. Don't make the things always so complex. And what is complex is also better than complexity, than complicated. That's the next step in Zen of Python. And this refers to the wording KISS, keep it short and simple, or keep it simple, stupid, or whatever. There are different interpretations of KISS, but they all mean the same. Make it as easy as possible, not so complicated. In the face of ambiguity, refuse the temptation to guess. We had it before, but in the Zen of Python, it's also written down. Please, when you don't know, when you're not sure about it, ask people, try to find out what's right, but not guessing. Not when you want to achieve quality. So quality, you have seen it, has a lot to do with communication. When we want to reach quality, we have to communicate with each other so that everyone knows what we are talking about. Quality over quantity is also the rule for communication. And if you haven't been in my talk on Wednesday, I have talked about this topic, quality communication. Just take a chance and look it on the video as soon as it is online. So this slide refers to the talk before. I don't want to talk about software architecture to you because I don't know about software architecture that much. But you have, I hope so, a software architecture. And the question is, do you work around this architecture? Do you follow the rules? It's your decision, accepting it or working around. When you work around, it doesn't make sense to build up an architecture in forehand, because when nobody is following the rules, you have wasted a lot of time. So better to accept it. Do you know about software craftsmanship? Who knows the rules? God, nobody? Some ideas behind software craftsmanship?
Well, it's to treat the making of software as a craft.
Yeah. Yeah. Clean code is one of the big hashtags of software craftsmanship, building clean code, and it refers to many other things which lead to a clean code. So if you're interested in software craftsmanship, look at Google, you find out something. It's really, really good. But it's enough to know about it. You have to know how you can do it. You have to understand why it is so important to follow such rules. But the best thing is stop talking about it, just do it. And that's with all the other things. It's not enough to talk about it. When you have a certain idea of quality, you have to talk with your colleagues. But sometimes you have to stop talking and you have to do it and nothing more. Because otherwise the quality wouldn't come into your product. So always code as if the guy who ends up maintaining your code will be a violent psychopath who knows where you live. So there's someone later on who has to work with your code. And if you hand over a bad quality, I can assure you, he will sometimes start worrying about you. And then it's better he does not know where you are living. Or the atmosphere in the team could become very bad if someone starts worrying about your work, and that's not what you really want. No one wants to work in a team with a bad atmosphere. We want to have fun at work. We want to have colleagues we like and colleagues who like us, but we don't have to worry about other colleagues. Perfection is achieved not when there is nothing more to add, but rather when there is nothing more to take away. Sometimes less is more. The more features are put into something, the more possibilities will be there where something could go wrong. This is the same as KISS. The more ingredients, the more possibilities of failures. So always think, do I really need this? Do I really need to add this? Or are there ways to do it a little bit simpler? How do you feel about continuous testing? I think all those who have a car are very happy about that the companies do those crash tests. Are you? Because you can say that your car is some safety one, some safe one. I know a lot of employees and companies who feel like watched by Big Brother with all those testing and think, oh my God, another testing. And they came back to me and they have to change things. That is not good. And why do they always test? Don't they believe me that I can do a good job? Or do you think continuous testing is a useful help? Because it can help you to improve the product, and it can help you to avoid mistakes which are later on hard to find out. Another part is this kind of documentation. And when I come to teams, whenever I come to teams, there's always at least one person who is worrying about writing documentation. I'm not talking about how much documentation is necessary. It's only the thing that there has to be documentation. Is the documentation for you the evil thing you need to avoid? Or do you think documentation is important? Code reviews. Yeah. Sometimes I have the impression this is the picture which is going on in some teams. But do you have committed rules for your code review you can follow? And everyone knows what is important for the code reviews? There's a T too much, I see. Sorry for that. Or does your code review happen by accident? Quality of meetings. Meetings are part of our work. Few companies don't have any meetings anymore, but most of the companies do have. So, who has ever felt that meetings are wasted time? Please, don't blame always the facilitator. He's just or she's just the guy who runs it. Think about, what is my rule in the meeting? Do I go into a meeting and just consume everything the facilitator tells me? Or do I play an active role in this meeting? I've joined a lot of meetings in company because one of our services is to improve meetings. And companies who come to me and say, hey, Sabine, please join our meetings because we have the impression that we waste so much time and the meetings are not effective. One big mistake which happens there always is that all the attendees of the meeting sit down and say, so, there's a facilitator, let's do him his work, and we are just sitting here and listening. Listening is a good thing, but sometimes they don't even listen because they are playing with their laptops or phones or whatever, or just shut down. So meeting is an active part in our daily work. And when I go to a meeting and I'm not satisfied with what there is said, I have to ask, I have to say it, I have to mention it. And all attendees in a meeting are responsible for the efficiency and the quality of the meeting, not only the facilitator. So when you go next time to a meeting and you think, oh my God, another hour wasted, then have a look at your behavior within the meeting and look what you can do that this time is not wasted, but invested in a good thing. Quality of feedback. Feedback, very, very important in our work. Is your feedback offensive and destroying? Do you take care about what the other one thinks? Or is your feedback appreciating and helping? This is what the feedback should be. It's also up to you to ask for feedback, not only to give for feedback. It's easier to give feedback instead of getting feedback. But if you want to better your quality of work, you can ask for feedback and say, hey, what do you think about it? Quality of dealing with failures. When we want to do great stuff, failures will happen. We can't do new things, we can't do complicated things without failures. Failures will be there. They will be on our way to achieve success. But what do we do when failures appear? Do we play the blame game? Say, hey, you made it wrong. So what's going on with you? You always made some mistakes. Do we try to hide failures? I hope no one will mention it. The worst way. Or are we responsible for what happens and do we learn out of failures? That's very important, to learn out of failures. But it's also important that we know that failures can appear and that we start work with a lot of thinking about it so that we can avoid some mistakes in the forehand. The quality of dealing with failures. Blame game, hide it, responsibility and learning. What about the quality of sharing knowledge? You are mostly working in teams with a lot of different individuals who have different knowledges. There are two ways. I try to hide my knowledge because I want to be someone special. And when they want to know, they have to come to me and to ask me to do this. I'm very exclusive in my knowledge, so yeah, they need me. Or am I open with my knowledge and I'm open to share it and I want to share it because I have the whole game in mind, the whole success, not only my safety and my success. Quality of sharing. Sustainability. When we want to achieve quality, we have to look at sustainability versus a hop-on and hop-off mentality. This is one thing on the one hand for the HR department. Do we hire people for 3 months and let them go? People who are in a company for 3 months are not really interested in quality for a mid or long-term time. So hop on and hop off of new employees could be for a short time a solution, but it's not the best solution to achieve quality. It's also with new methods and new tools. When I always put in new tools, and try new methods, The employees need time to get familiar with these tools and methods to get out the best of it. But when I try it 3 weeks and I say, oh, it's not that fine as I thought, and I put in another one, it doesn't make sense. Hop on, hop off is not what is good for achieving quality. Sustainability is what we need. Quality is not an act, it is a habit. Have you heard this before? I was very surprised when I have read who has told us this. This was Aristotle, and it's long time ago when he said this. But it's the same today. Quality is not an act, it's a habit. It should be part of our behavior when we want to do a good job and a job full of quality. So, what you should take away is check your own attitude towards quality. Check your own way of working. Check your own behavior. And check the culture in your team. Is this a culture of trust where you all can put in those things I've told you about? Because quality really starts in your head. The tool you need for this is here in between your ears. And when you are not ready with your tool for quality, all the other stuff of quality management and PDCA cycle and so on won't work. This is really your task to start with quality. Thank you very much. I hope you all had a great first NDC here in Sydney. I thank so much, say thank you to the organizers. They did a great job again here. And thank you to you all, because all the attendees made it possible that this conference here could run. So thank you very much, and have a nice evening.